realize that this thing I called life, this thing that I called complicated, wasn't complicated at all. The truth to living a gracious, good life is actually super simple. The little decision that I took this summer to start therapy is fear can only live on if you do nothing about it. Even the littlest thing done against fear is the biggest fight against it. I've never talked to a camera before, so No. I will do this. Hello, I am Miss Little. Okay, that is not my actual name, but it represents the purpose that I have for this channel and for my life right now. My real name is Eunice, and I'm a junior in university majoring in creative writing and minoring in journalism. Life can be so overwhelming. Like, who agrees with me on that? Literally everyone, I'm sure. And I have been in a spot where I've just been so overwhelmed. The external voices and internal voices are just both coming down on me, and I have often resorted to looking for something new to add to my life to help me, like a self-help book or a new project, a new friend, just always looking for something new to add. Like, these things didn't even need to be material, but they just revealed that my heart was always looking for something more, and it was never enough. And then one day, fairly recently, I had an epiphany. I don't need more. I have all that I need already. A good song only needs 4 chords. A good story only needs a hero, their desire, an obstacle, and then a final battle to conquer that. Like, everything at its bare bones is actually simple. Suddenly, my life sort of flashed through my eyes, and I realized that this thing I called life, this thing that I called complicated, wasn't complicated at all. Life is actually really simple. The truth to living a gracious, good life is actually super simple. But this is where all of us fall short. It is not easy at all. When life gets overwhelming, it hardly occurs to us that the solution is not found in the innumerable problems that we have around us and trying to solve each and every one of them. Like, the solution is actually found in reminding ourselves of the simplest, littlest truths. Like, I am loved, I am worthy. And then I started to realize that when life gets overwhelming, it's because these simple truths are getting messed up. And all of a sudden, it doesn't seem as complicated to me anymore. But once again, even though it's simple, it is not easy. And that's why I decided to come on here and make this little video and start this channel, because it's a process, it's a journey. I'm nowhere close to totally implementing this in my life, but I want to invite you to join me in this Miss Little journey. Find joy and little nuggets of truth in the little things around you every day right now. So hard. I'm just trying to get.
Maybe you should get those where the back, they have that ring that can let you stand.
Sort of get my face.
Oh.
Look at that beautiful sunset! Wow! An art, a painting, painted by the painter of the skies. Why are you looking at your phone in such a beautiful moment? We found a beautiful baby on the steps of our school library. Oh, so beautiful. Hi, Miss Monarch. This channel is about focusing on right here, right now, not where we're going, because it is often the littlest things that change our lives. How many times have you tried to learn a new skill just to give up right at the beginning? That was because you were focusing on the big results. You were focusing on doing all things at once, but not focusing on the littlest, smallest step right in front of you at that moment. That is where I have failed so much, and that's why I'm here today. Because I told myself, once I have the time, once I have my phone, I'm filming this video. Like, that's all I need. I don't need to wait for the perfect outfit, the perfect background, the perfect whatever. Like, I'm literally just sitting on my bed right now, just talking to my phone, which isn't even a good video quality at all. Like, you know, like, this isn't great, but whatever. I don't care anymore. I have fears right now that no one will watch this, that I will give up. But then I realized that if I stop myself from doing something because of my fear of giving up in the future, isn't that giving up itself? Like, that made no sense. So I just needed to do this. And that's the thing about little things. It's the little steps, the little decisions, to speak to the camera right now. The little decision that I took this summer to start therapy. That was little in the sense that it was simple. Like, I just had to pull out my phone and sign up for BetterHelp. But the change was so big in that it was such a big step against my fear. Because fear can only live on if you do nothing about it. Even the littlest thing done against fear is the biggest fight against it. I have big dreams. I am a very ambitious person, but that means that I need to tell myself every day to take a step back, to not think about the future all the time. Don't live in the past. Don't live in the future. Just think about this moment right now. This little moment. What can I change right now? Not for then, not for where I'm going, but just now. I also started to notice that it is in the littlest ways that my wounds from trauma manifest, like when I get unexplainably irritable, when something so small like overly triggers me and I'm like sensitive over small things. Like, don't ignore these things. I know you go through that too. Examining these moments, just taking it slow and asking yourself, why? Like, why am I getting so irritated about this? Like, what am I feeling right now that is triggering me? Examining these little moments can really lead to big healing in the long run, and I'm still working on that one. And truly, it is often the little things about us, the smallest quirks in our personality, that reveal the deepest things in our heart. Like, for example, I love making cute drinks, and that actually reveals something deeper, that I love it as a beautiful therapy for my eyes. Like, when I look at that beautiful drink, it just gives me that refreshing feeling. And also when I drink it, it's a refreshment and a blessing for my body. And I really just take the time to slow down and appreciate that. And that in itself tells you a lot about me. Also, the weird fact that I avoid sports. If we dig deeper down below that, it's because I was always more scared and an overthinker, more hesitant than other kids, that I literally get afraid every time I get close to a sport. So these little things reveal the big things about us. As I grow older, I've come to be so much more easily satisfied with the mundane or boring things in day-to-day life, like an amazing cup of coffee, a quiet day at the bookstore, wiping down a counter until it sparkles. Oh, so satisfying. Just all these things become so beautiful. And when I focus on the joy in these little things, I become so much more of a pleasant person in my day-to-day life, and when bigger things come my way, I am so much more equipped, so much more gracious, so much more wise and joyful, and I tackle it just with so much more maturity. And what's kind of ironic about that is that we sometimes we look down on children for being like immature because they get caught up in little things, but I think as we all grow older, especially as young adults, when we're trying to tell ourselves to become adults and stuff like that, we actually need to tell ourselves to become more like children in the way that we view the world sometimes. This doesn't mean that we sacrifice maturity, but it means that we don't let go of wondering at the little joys around us. Don't let go of realizing that sometimes the solution is not complicated or mature. Sometimes the solution to saving a relationship is just giving a hug or writing a cute little note on a sticky note. Just little simple things like that that children think of actually leads us on the road of maturity. There is a difference between childlikeness and childishness. So, from this day forth, I am setting out to implement the principle of less is better and to focus on the little things to make a big change. And I'm going to be sharing this in every single video on my channel. So I invite you, join me. Join me to just wonder at the little things, to study them, to think about them, to learn more about ourselves and about each other. And maybe we can make a little change together.
On my bedroom wall, I have hung pictures representing little special moments in my life or characteristics about me. And you can tell by zooming in and just taking your time to take in the little details. Like right here, you see I love my family very much. The Harry Potter world. This red rose that my boyfriend gave me. A book about editing, which is about my dreams, aspirations, snow. Work is something I love to do, with balance, of course. Baking. Reading is just magical. Mystical forest. My cousin Ariel, she's such a jewel to me. And, of course, Hogwarts. All these little things being together in one place, they just piece together, they show you me. And just like the autumn leaves that fall down one by one, if you pick all of them up, maybe you can make a tree again.